afternoon. This is Carrie Scroggins from KDS Insurance Services. And I'm following up this week with my final video, and I've had a lot of people ask me, been doing these videos about opening an agency and what's my opinion about a lot of things. And one of the questions I got in a lot in the last week was, what's the hardest part about being your own agent and owning your own business? And I would have to say, by far the most challenging part of being a business owner, and I think this is going to be across the board for anybody that's a business owner, staffing. Staffing is probably the greatest challenge that you're going to find as a business owner, because it is the greatest asset that you're going to have as a business owner. If you have good employees, then you are going to do just fine. It is a challenge though. It's definitely a challenge, and we are sort of in a changing of the guard, if you will, right now with our generations, and the work ethic that's associated with our generations has definitely changed, and it's becoming harder and harder to find employees that are motivated, responsible, and take their jobs seriously, and have the kind of work ethic that, especially in this kind of industry, that you as an agency owner and an agent must have. If you don't have employees that are driven and responsible in this kind of business, it could be catastrophe. I'll just put it right out there. You have to be able to trust your employees to get the job done and get the job done right. Because as an insurance agent, you know, you're in and out of your office quite a bit. And so it is extremely important for you to have that person and or persons to fall back on, depending on the size of your agency. And it's by far the most challenging part of being a business owner. And it should be the most challenging part, because it's the most important part of your business too, because your biggest asset in any business is your employees. And so you've got to have a lot of really good systems in place to find good employees. You have to have one-on-one training and follow-up and reinforcement and validation and all of those kinds of things to be able to keep an employee that you're going to be able to grow with over the years. I have been very, very fortunate in my agency ownership that I've had two really, really good employees that have left on really good terms, because something's come up in their life and they've had to make a change. One of the most disappointing things for me recently has been COVID. I had a wonderful employee for almost 5 years, and she was phenomenal, and many of you know her name was Susan, and I have absolutely nothing but wonderful things to say about her. But you know, COVID changed a lot of lives, and hers was one of them. And unfortunately for me as a business owner, I lost her as an employee. And so it is the most important thing that you do as a business owner. It is the most important thing you do as an agent, and it is the most important thing that you have in your business. Your assets are your employees. And if you don't look at it like that, then you're not going to have employees for a long time. They are your greatest asset, and you have to make sure that you are continually reinforcing positively the fact that they are a value to your business. If you don't look at it like that, then you'll never have good employees. So that's one of the biggest challenge. Is it the hardest thing? I wouldn't say it's the hardest thing, but I would just say it's the greatest challenge that you face in your ownership as a business owner. So, and then another question that I get a lot, and have had a lot in the last week, is what's my most unfavorite part about being an insurance agent and a business owner? I would say I don't know that I would really say that it's something that I dislike, but when you go into business for yourself, you have a trade-off, and the trade-off is you and your time. And in order to have a successful business, you've got to be hands-on. And so that means that your ability to go away for long periods of time is very restrictive, because you owe it to yourself as the business owner to make sure that you are around. If you abdicate your business to somebody else, then that's just what's going to happen. You're going to abdicate your business, and you're probably not going to have it for very long. But the trade-off in that is that you do have a lot of flexibility. You come and go as you please. You don't answer to anybody. Your success is your success. It's on your shoulders. What you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So it's a trade-off. It can be hard sometimes because it is hard to get away. I mean, I'm an Australian, and so I would love the opportunity to be able to go to Australia for 2 or 3 weeks and go visit family members that I haven't seen in years and years. But that's just not feasible at this point. And so my trade-off then is that I have other things that I can have the flexibility to do. And you have to remember to look at it that way. I try to always be half full, not half empty. So I try to look for the positives. Even if it's a negative situation, I try to take from that negative situation a positive and turn it into something that is useful for me as an agent and as a business owner. So you just have to go into it knowing that you're going to have times that you can't get away, and that's the trade-off. If you don't want to work for somebody else and you want to control your own your own destiny and your own career path and your own income, then you have to be willing to accept that trade-off going into it first and foremost. The one thing that I would say that I dislike the most about being an agency owner, an insurance agency owner, is the very cumbersome process that it takes for documentation and processing. There's a lot of paperwork, but that paperwork is also your lifeline, because that is your documentation and your track backwards. You always have to be covering yourself and making sure that you're doing it in the right way with the right steps, and that's just cumbersome. And it is the hard part of what we do, because it can be the beast that takes over your day and takes time away from you to do other things during your day, including selling, which we've already talked about. This is a sales business, and if you're not going to sell, then you're not going to be in business, or you're not going to continue to grow. So the beast of service work is probably my most unpleasant task that I do. But saying that, it also keeps me in touch with my clients. So it's not a negative, because if I'm in touch with my clients, then my clients are happy and they're getting done what they need to get done. And so again, it's one of those yin and yangs. In this business, there's a lot of that. You get a lot, but you got to give up a lot. You take a lot, but you get a lot. And so that's why I find it so rewarding, is that you can find positives in just about everything when you are self-employed and you own this type of business. So I hope that really helps you. I love what I do. Obviously, I wouldn't still be doing it after 40 years, and I love the fact that I interact with my clients, and that what we do together does definitely affect them in a positive way. So get out there and start your own business, start your own insurance agency. And if I can help you in any way, that's what these videos are here for. I appreciate the fact that you take the time to watch them. They're here to help you, and I sincerely mean that. If there's something that you need some help with or would like me to discuss, that's what these videos are for and designed for. They're here to help you become a better consumer, but to also help you in a lot of other experiences. I'm 40 years into my career, and I am very blessed and feel very successful at what I do. So if I can help somebody and inspire them to do that as well, then I'm giving back, and that's really important to me. So thank you for stopping by my channel. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on all the social media web pages. So if you need to reach out to me, I'm out there in social media. Just type in Carrie Devlin Scroggins and you'll find a million different ways to reach me. And don't forget to make sure that when you're on those channels or those websites, make sure you subscribe, leave me a message, and I will get back to you just as quickly as possible. And I do appreciate your time. I know we're all busy, and I appreciate the fact that you took the time to watch this video. It really does help me, so please make sure you hit that bell so you know the next time that I post a video. That's it for the week, guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I've got a very special weekend this week myself, and so there'll be no videos tomorrow or until Tuesday of next week. So God bless, take care, have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch up with you next week. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.